everybody! Welcome back to our YouTube story time. I'm here on a rainy Monday morning with you all. And I have a book that's kind of about the rain, or something that happens after it rains. And it's called Puddle. Right, so that's one thing that does happen a lot after it rains. The ground gets wet and soft, and especially the dirt, and it turns into gooey mud. And that book is all about those gooey mud puddles. Yeah, so I know that right now it's hard to really get outside and play like we do at daycare, and I know how much a lot of you like playing in the mud and how much fun it can be. And I hope we can do that when you all come back. But for now, why don't we read a book about it? And One Girl's Adventure with a Mysterious Mud Puddle. Okay, so here it is. Mud Puddle. The story is by Robert Munsch, and the art is done by Sami. Suomalainen. There, so we can see on the cover there, her mouth is wide open. She looks a bit surprised. And the dog, his eyes are wide open, and his eyebrows are up. He looks, maybe a little surprised or scared? I don't know. And the book is called Mud Puddle, so maybe they're looking at something made of mud, a mud puddle? I don't know, let's find out. Mud Puddle. Oh, and there's our little friend. And here we go. Julianne's mother bought her clean new clothes. Julianne put on a clean new shirt and buttoned it up the front. She put on clean new pants and buttoned them up the front. And she walked outside and sat down under an apple tree. So there's Julianne in her nice new clean clothes coming to the apple tree. And look at that rainbow and the birds. It looks like such a beautiful day. Unfortunately, hiding up in the apple tree there was a mud puddle. It saw Julianne sitting there and jumped right on her head. She got completely all over muddy. Even her ears were full of mud. Oh, that's a strange place for a mud puddle to hide. Aren't they usually on the ground? I wonder how it got in that tree. Oh, Julianne ran inside, yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, a mud puddle jumped on me." Her mother picked her up, took off all her clothes, and dropped her in a tub of water. She scrubbed Julianne until she was red all over. She washed out her ears and her eyes. She even had to wash out her mouth. Oh, she had mud everywhere. Have you ever been that muddy? I don't know if I have. I hope at least that the mud's not going in your mouth. Oh, that's gross. Julianne put on a clean new shirt and buttoned it up the front. And then she put on clean new pants and buttoned them up the front. Then she looked out the back door. So she's checking. She couldn't see the mud puddle anywhere. So she walked outside and sat down on her sandbox. So she didn't see the mud puddle, but where is it? There's our mud puddle. It looks like he's on top of the roof. Maybe that's why Julianne could not see him. The sandbox was next to the house, and oh yes, hiding up on the house, there was that mud puddle. That silly mud puddle seems to be able to move all over the place. I've only ever seen a mud puddle on the ground. Oh, it saw Julianne sitting down there and jumped right on her head. She got completely all over muddy. Even her nose was full of mud. Ooh, that would make it hard to breathe. Julianne ran inside yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, a mud puddle jumped on me." Julianne's mother picked her up, took off all her clothes, and dropped her into a tub of water. She scrubbed Julianne until she was red all over. She washed out her ears. She washed out her eyes. She washed out her mouth. She even had to wash out her nose. Oh, gross. Julianne put on a clean new shirt and buttoned it up the front. Then she put on clean new pants and buttoned them up the front. Then she had an idea. So maybe she's going to try to protect herself from the mud puddle. She reached way in the back of the closet and got out a big yellow raincoat. She put it on and walked outside. There was no mud puddle anywhere. So she yelled, "Hey, mud puddle!" Look, there she is yelling. Nothing happened, so she yelled even louder, "Hey, mud puddle!" Julian was standing in the sunshine in her raincoat and getting very hot. So she pulled back her hood. Oh, so she took the hood off. Nothing happened. So she took off her raincoat. What do you think will happen after she takes off her raincoat? Oh. As soon as she took off her coat, out from behind the doghouse came the mud puddle. It ran across the grass and jumped on Julian's head. That tricky mud puddle, it seems to always know just where to find Julian. But does she look very upset about it? She's got a big smile. Maybe she thinks it's kind of funny. She got completely all over muddy, and Julian ran inside and yelled, "Mommy, Mommy, a mud puddle jumped on me." And there she is in the tub again. Her mother picked her up, took off all her clothes, and dropped her into the tub of water. She scrubbed Julian until she was red all over. She washed out her ears, she washed out her eyes, she washed out her mouth, she washed out her nose. She even had to wash out her belly button. Oh my goodness, she really got her mud everywhere, even down in her belly button. Oh look, this picture is the same as the cover. So Julian put on a clean new shirt and buttoned it up the front. And she put on clean new pants and buttoned them up the front. Then she sat beside the back door because she was too afraid to go outside. Oh, yeah, they are looking pretty worried, a little bit afraid. Poor Julian, she can't do anything with that mud puddle getting all over her. I wonder if she'll come up with another idea. Then she had an idea. Oh, look at that. She reached up to the sink and took a bar of smelly yellow soap. She gave it a smell. Ugh! Then she took another bar of smelly yellow soap and gave it a smell. Yuck! She put the smelly yellow soap in her pocket, and then she ran out into the middle of the backyard and yelled, "Hey, mud puddle!" The mud puddle jumped right over the fence and ran right toward her. She got the mud puddle to come after her on purpose. But she has the soap in her pockets. What do you think she's going to do with the soap? Let's find out. Oh, she's throwing it at the mud puddle. Julian threw a bar of soap right into the mud puddle's middle, and the mud puddle stopped. Julian threw the other bar of soap right into the mud puddle, and the mud puddle said, "Ugh, ick, ugh." It ran across the grass and jumped over the fence, and it never came back. Oh, Julian scared it away with that smelly yellow soap. The end. There, a nice sunset and no more mud puddle. That was smart thinking from Julian. She scared the mud puddle away by trying to make it clean. And we all know that dirty mud doesn't like to be clean. Okay, well that's it for our story for today, and I will see you again on Wednesday with another one. Okay, bye for now.